Hey guys, welcome to Home Cooking with Chef Leon Okendo. Today we're gonna make my favorite chicken tikka. Let me introduce a friend of mine who is also known for his chicken tikka and is about to get outdone. Let him introduce himself, let him tell you more about who he is, what he does. Friend of mine?
Yes, hello. I'm Joe Mahinda and I'm a film producer and director. Yes.
He's a cool guy.
That's
his job. His job is being cool.
I used to want to be a chef, but I left it for these cool guys.
Mazel tov. Anyway, so Joe, see, I remember you made a chicken tikka. How good was it on a scale of 1 to 10?
It was 10.5.
Wow.
It was so spicy and so tender. Like, and then you know how you massage the kinyama until the spices enter. You go in, it's like it's an art.
It's
you
an
don't
art.
just you have to love the chicken. You
Love
know,
the chicken.
the chicken is your babe. You have to caress that chicken. I'm telling you,
Okay.
bro.
So,
That's the trick to it.
now for me, I'm not going to caress anything. But me, I'm just going to finesse, which is probably the same as caress. What I like to do is I like to ensure that my chicken is boiled and hard, because some pieces of chicken, if it's not chicken breast, it doesn't cook as easily. So what you want is to have a nice amount of whatever chicken you want. It can be thighs, it can be chicken cuts, you name it. Add a bit of rosemary for flavor. Add a bit of all the spices that you want it to have. Alright, so you got that. You got cumin seeds in there. Got a bit of black pepper because my friend Joe likes it spicy. So we're gonna add a bit of curry powder. This is just what I like to call my original setup. And you add a bit of bay leaves.
So why are they called bay leaves?
Because, I mean, they love you like they obey. You know what I mean, man? They're just always there for you. Well, I like using bay leaves because when it's chicken tikka, it's an essential Indian ingredient using bay leaves. Things like garam masala and cumin, very essential. They add that Indian taste. That's what you really want here. So watch out now. We're gonna turn the fire up. We're gonna let this cook for a few minutes. So, if you follow me.
How many minutes are a few minutes?
So what you want is for the chicken to be really tender, so that when you poke it with a fork, it just peels off. You know, it just peels off the bone. It's gonna be really tender. So we're gonna see it happen in a few minutes. For now, I'm going back to this side. So Joe, how do you normally make your chicken tikka?
I actually don't boil it first. I put the raw chicken in the tikka mix and I let it rest for about 24 hours if you have that luxury. But if not, 2 hours is good.
2 hours, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but the shorter you leave it in the marinade, the more of the massage, as I told you about my massage.
That's how the taste really kicks in.
Yes. So yeah, and then I just put it on a pan or like a grill pan and get some nice like charred spice on the bottom and like some nice tender chicken inside.
What chicken do you normally use by there?
I love chicken thighs personally, but I use whatever, man. Yeah, but I personally prefer chicken thighs. I find them the most tender, easiest to cook. Yeah, with the breast you can kind of get it wrong because of the thickness of it. Yeah.
Well, I normally boil mine because I feel like I don't want to risk the chicken being undercooked. If I put it on the pan first, unless I'm using chicken breast. For me, if I use chicken breast, it normally just comes through so much easier. normally no stress.
So the trick is just to cook it on low heat first. And cover it if you can so that it cooks inside, and then blast that heat up just to get that nice char. Yeah.
So speaking of your chicken marinade, so what I normally do with mine is I've got my garlic and my ginger. So what I normally do is I add my garlic and ginger, right, for the marination. You normally use lemon juice also?
Yeah, I do, just a bit of acid is always good.
Yeah.
If you can use lemons, you can use an orange. Yeah. Oh, I've used a tangerine before, because that's all I could find. But
nice, man.
yeah, that gives it a bit of a more sweeter
Nice
taste.
kicker.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you also use curry powder?
Yeah, I do. But I prefer more of the danajiras. Yeah, some.
So now I'm gonna add a bit of black pepper. So far we've got garlic, ginger, black pepper. I wish I had jeera, but jeera sounds.
Danajira,
Yeah, it's actually a plant. Turmeric for color.
Get that nice yellow.
Get that nice yellow. Tell
Yellow.
I'm gonna add
So
some coriander
turmeric
powder.
stains a lot of like things. So just be careful when you use it. Don't use like a white cloth or something.
You heard the man. So now I've added some coriander powder. Yeah, I'm gonna add my favorite, garam masala. I love garam masala. I really do.
Spicy.
Spicy, my friend. We're gonna add a bit of cumin seed powder. So essentially, I'd say add about 2 tablespoons of each, depending on the amount of chicken you have. So 2 tablespoons of garam masala, tablespoons of coriander, 2 tablespoons of turmeric, 2 tablespoons of black pepper. Obviously, salt you need to be gentle. Let's say half a tablespoon.
Well, depending on how much chicken you're cooking.
Depending on how much chicken you're cooking, exactly. We're also gonna add. I'm thinking cinnamon, but that's. Yeah. Should I add cinnamon? Should I not?
You should know this by now already.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. It's an optional thing. But since I've added most of what I want, I've got my aromas. Now, what's the most important thing?
Mala.
Mala. Oh, you can use a yogurt.
Yeah, plain
Plain
yogurt.
Plain yogurt works. Did you use
Mala
mala for yours?
Yeah, I use this easiest to.
No, man.
I literally just. You work with what's there, you
In
know.
fact, did you just have mala at home and you're like, I should just make a chicken tikka? Is that like
Yeah, I was actually just craving like
this?
spicy
I'm not
chicken.
gonna drink mala by itself. Okay,
Mala.
so I'm going to use maziwa mala because I like the sourness, the tanginess. It has a nice tangy taste.
But
So
why
it
can't you
blends.
just use water or milk?
I mean, because there's no texture in water. Water is very bland, and milk is also it's too liquidy. You want it to be a sauce. That's the key here. So the difference between your chicken tikka and mine, I can tell, is that you made your chicken tikka plain, right? You put it on a pan and then ready, right? Yeah, what I normally do for my chicken tikka is I do the same thing, but I take all this liquid, I add a bit of tomatoes, add a bit of seasoning, add a bit of cream, and I create a sauce from it. So I normally have essentially a chicken tikka and a sauce to go with it.
I see.
Yeah, so that's the only difference. Now what you really want is a nice combination of salty, tangy, and spicy.
We're gonna add some heat.
You know. I didn't call you here just to tell you about what I'm making. We had the chicken in our nice combination of spices and bay leaves. Now I don't know if you can smell it from the camera, but the combination of the rosemary and the bay leaves and the spices, that aroma is just so nutritious. And this liquid is no longer water, it has become chicken stock. This is the most valuable resource you can ever have in your kitchen. Now what you really want is to check if your chicken is tender enough that it peels off just like that. That's what you want, just a nice flaky texture. Once that's possible, You turn it off, let it cool down. Okay? You can come back, and once that's happened, you take your chicken and you put it in your mixture. Right? So you've got a nice mixture. Joe, what do you think?
I think it looks good and I'm excited. I want to eat it.
You sound
ready.
You sound ecstatic. Absolutely livid. Oh my gosh, man. You know what would go really well with this?
Yes, what would go?
A beer. A cold. I don't know, man.
I added some in the
mixture.
Yeah.
So what you really want is for this to marinate for at least 3 hours or between 1 to 24 hours. The longer it marinates, the better it tastes. Remember. Okay. After a few hours, this is what should happen. Your chicken should just be covered in this marination. To just literally have all the color you need, right? So once this is done, we go here. I need to get rid of that, try and wash my hands. Let me wash my hands first. Right.
You have a Toshan?
Yes, sir. Here's what we're gonna do. A bit of oil to coat the pan. Now what you really want is for the liquid to really make the pan glisten. As I always say. Joe, you're just gonna observe. You don't wanna jump in.
What would you like me to do, Chef Okendo?
I want you. Why are you saying like that?
See, that's your name, isn't it?
Yeah, but I know.
Okendo.
But the way you said it, it was like I don't know. I can't describe it. I didn't like it, man. Repeat that question again.
What would you like me to do, Chef Okendo?
I'd like you to, once the oil is nice and hot, yeah?
So how do you know the oil is nice and hot?
That's a good question, Reggie. What I normally do is I take a spoon with a bit of liquid. And once I hear a sizzling sound, I know. You normally play this one by sound. And listen.
It's hot.
No, okay. Now it's hot. So you need to be careful. So what I want you to do right now is to take individual pieces of chicken and then put them on the pan. I'll show you the first few. Basically, put them in one by one. So what you really want is, as usual, for them to be golden brown. You're afraid of the oil?
I mean, it's part of the job.
Part of the job, man. Without a doubt. Babe. That's the game. Nice, good. Superfluous. Superfluous. Is that how they say it? Superfluous. Okay. So what you really want is for the chicken to be nice and golden like this. Set it aside.
I'm enjoying so much. You make like this nice thin pancakes and this cabbage that you cook for like 2 seconds, so it's like sweet and crunchy and like still salty at the same time. Yeah, but when I fell in love with cooking is when we got a maid who really couldn't cook at all. And so, you know, man, I like food, so you just end up doing it yourself. So I'm like, oh, this ain't too bad. Ain't too bad, this.
You have to just defend yourself.
Yeah, man, you know.
Survival or death.
You want something done, you do it yourself.
Amen to that, brother.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
So yeah, that's what happens. Started cooking here and there. If them films make me some good money, I don't mind.
Don't mind switching back, yeah? That's very cool.
And hire Chef Okendo.
No. Consort with
This director status of mine.
Oh yeah?
I'm a bad guy in this street. So
You're a bad guy, you know, nah?
Well,
Alright. So right now I'm gonna cut up my tomatoes. I'm gonna seed, making sure they are a bit seedless. Got my vegetables absolutely sorted. Sorry, apologies for that. Chicken is looking top notch. I love that. That's a good sound. Sound that the second step is about to commence. So we've got our. The most important thing really is the bell peppers. That's where the flavor is. Once you have your bell peppers chopped up, anything you put them in just improves in terms of the crunch and the texture. We're gonna put these in at the end of the dish. So right now, if you follow me back to the gas, but that's all good. Add a bit of oil. And then, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my spices for preventing the development of cancer. It's very, very healthy for you. Very delicious. In fact, I'm just gonna add a bit more because I really like children. We're gonna add a bit of garam masala just for that extra tikka taste that we came for. We turn down the heat so our spices don't burn.
why do you add the spices straight to the oil?
So now when you do that, the aroma kicks in. Yeah, it's a bit too spicy. Most people sneeze. Don't be ashamed.
Thank you.
Yeah, but when the aromas are somehow put in the oil, they activate. That's what I'm looking for. It activates the aroma and it activates the entire flavor, to be honest. It's kind of like putting raw ginger or garlic in oil, you know, it just immediately causes a reaction. So I also want to add some garlic and ginger. Here's my garlic and ginger backup. Some garlic, some ginger. Actually, I do have backups already. Right. So what I want
Okay,
to
can you still explain what you are trying to make? You know,
So
they have already seen those.
Yeah. You will know your spices are ready when you can start smelling them. Immediately the scent hits you, they're good to go. They are good to go, my friend. You can keep stirring, don't worry. Gonna get some garlic falling there. You know what it means?
Yeah, it means excess.
Excess.
Yeah.
Dude, like
That's more than enough.
more than enough, superfluous.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's because people probably think because we wear glasses that we just have all the answers. We're trying. We just ask Google like everybody. Like everybody else. Google gives us answers. Alright. So now we've got our onions, garlic, ginger. I'm gonna add some onions into my mix. I'm gonna add 2 mini onions. And get rid of nothing is to be thrown away. If you want, you can take the skin of the onion and roast it. And if you do that, you can put it in water with some salt and some herbs, and you create a nice vegetable stock. Right. So spices are fused, and I just love that smell. Oh my god. I don't know if you guys are smelling it, but for some reason, it's got me feeling this. So you add your tomatoes. Right? You know, I feel like I had some more tomatoes. Got a chili in there because I like chili. So does my brother here.
So the little bit on low heat or high heat?
I'd recommend cooking on medium. But if you're really scared of burning your food, I suggest medium to low. If you're professional, medium to high. And for me, I'm about to just go all the way. Because I'm really hungry. I don't know about you, but man, I want this in my stomach.
No shortcuts in the kitchen.
No shortcuts in the kitchen, man. Did you get that from a poster? Or it's like, honestly, how you feel?
I don't know, I watch a lot of shows.
You know, I mean, it depends on the shortcut, I think. For the situation. So we got that going on. I'm gonna put these aside. So if you have acid reflux or ulcers, you can add some carrots grated. Make a big difference. So we need, it looks ratchet as well, but it's good enough. I'm gonna add a bit. Okay. So remember the chicken stock we made? Just add a bit. The bay leaves and all that nice taste goodness. Cook that up.
It smells amazing in here.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is just let these tomatoes cook. I want them to really sauce out on you. I want to create a nice sauce. At this point you can blend it if you want. I don't feel like blending it. I just want them to cook nice and slow, nice and thick. And once that has happened, you just throw in your chicken, season to taste, and it's a wrap. It's a done deal. Finish off with a bit of cream. We're basically done actually. In fact, right now, if I was you, I would call anyone in the house and ask them to make a chapati, because if you combine this with a nice chapati, it's a done deal.
Good?
It's almost there. Needs a bit of help. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add a bit of this. I'm also, believe it or not, going to take, remember the marination we had left over? I'm gonna put it in there. It's got all that creamy flavor. I don't like wasting anything. I feel like the plane flying by makes it authentic.
It makes people not hear you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know how authentic that is.
Man, I hope the sound doesn't suck. Right, now we add our chicken. You can just slip it in. Nice and easy. What I really want now is a spoon. Make sure it doesn't stick to the side. We're gonna simmer it down completely. And guess what we're gonna add? I just love the taste of roasted vegetables. I don't know about you, but I really do. I really enjoy them. Huh?
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like a good char.
True that, my friend.
Give it a nice smoky taste.
It's a nice smoky taste. Yes, indeed. And I'm just gonna add a bit of that. While it's cooking, I'm gonna pour in a bit more of that lovely stock we had. It's getting a bit thick for me, a bit too thick.
You don't like your stock thick?
I don't like my stock thick, my friend. I like, unless like I'm making a light chicken soup, you know, something. If I have a cold, you can use it to just make something simple. Nice. So let that just play around a bit. What do you think? Tell me how you do. So I'm gonna add a bit of cream.
A bit more than a bit.
A bit more than a bit. Let's say a small cup of cream. Then you start vegetables. Trying to fancy these things. Let me check them out. Let's see how good they are.
Okay, now down.
So I've added my roasted bell peppers and some roasted tomatoes. Now, as you can see, things have changed. Things have changed. The texture is different now. Look at that. What do you think?
I'm hungry.
And to finish off, I like adding just a little bit of rosemary. Just a little bit. You know, just to let them know that something happened here, you know. Leave a bit of evidence of the crime scene. Is that a thing people say, leave a bit of evidence of the crime scene?
Clearly you watch more movies than me, so...
Dude, you're a film director. I doubt this. I highly doubt this. Do you actually watch a lot of movies?
The problem is time to watch the movies, but yeah, I try to watch as much as I can.
Try doing some research.
Yeah, I get easy research. Yeah.
You know, I think I'll just add a bit more. I'm feeling curry powder and salt. What do you think about that?
You're the chef.
Eat some. Now I'm with you.
I'm with you, babe.
Let me just salt.
Add a bit of sugar.
Sugar?
Salt.
Oh. I was like, what?
Shube. You know, this is on 3 stones.
Oh.
So they get me.
Actually, what did you say 3 stones is again?
Mahiga Matata. I don't know why that's funny. It's actually just 3 stones.
I know, dude, but you know, you told me this and I was trying to tell it to a friend of mine who will not be mentioned. My friend, too many cooks spoil the broth. You can't. You want to go for it? I feel so bad now.
No, I'm good. I was just...
You just felt like it needed
I'm just hungry. Let's say that.
I understand.
Yes.
So...
It smells so good in here. I wish you guys could be in this kitchen with us.
Although we'd have less food. Are they not?
Suck at plating.
You suck at plating?
Yeah. Well.
Awesome, guys. So let me run you through what we did. We got some garlic, we got some ginger, we got some cumin powder, we got some garam masala, some curry powder, some coriander, some black pepper, 1 teaspoon, let's say half a tablespoon of everything. We mixed it up in a bowl, added a bit of lemon juice, added a bit of garlic, added a bit of ginger, and added a bit of yogurt. And that was our marination. At the same time, we made sure that we had water going on. We made sure that we had some chicken in there to soften it. We added a bit of bay leaves and we added a bit of rosemary for fragrance and taste. We also added the same spices, cumin, garam masala, curry powder, coriander and black pepper for flavor, as well as turmeric for a nice color, and also it's an antioxidant. It's good for the body. We also added a bit of rosemary in the water so that it would really just come out perfectly. After that was done and the chicken was soft, we made sure that we let the chicken cool and we took it and we put it in our marination. Once it had marinated for about an hour, we took the chicken and we put it on a pan with a bit of oil so that the chicken could roast for a bit, you know. You basically frying the chicken. Let me not complicate things. We fried the chicken. After the chicken was fried, we made sure that we put it aside. We got a pan, we added our oil, and we added our 4 spices. Once again, a teaspoon of turmeric, a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of black pepper, garam masala, coriander. I also added a bit of garlic and ginger in the hot oil with the spices. I also added a bit of onions for fragrance and taste. And then I came and added tomatoes. About, let's say, a full cup of tomatoes, or maybe 1.5, depending on how much sauciness you want your chicken to have. After that, we cooked it up until the tomatoes began to soften. Once they softened, we added our chicken stock. Remember, our chicken stock is very important. Chicken stock is what we got when we boiled our chicken. We poured a bit of that. We also made sure that we added a bit of cream and we put our chicken into the sauce so that it would not only have a nice fried taste, it would also have a nice sauce covering and layering. And we kept cooking that until all the flavors were absorbed. And once that was done, we finished off with sliced bell peppers, seedless, and we added a bit of rosemary for garnish. And I recommend you try this with a chapati because for me, let me just tell you the truth, that's how it's supposed to be. Excuse my manners, but I love chicken tikka so much. Thank you for watching. My guest is about to give you his Twitter handle so you can check out some of his films. I said my guest is about to give you his Twitter handle. Hey man, it's cold.
Do you have a fork? Just like wash
You want a
my
fork?
hands.
Come on, man. We're Kenyans. We eat with our hands. Did you wash your hands?
Yeah, I just washed them. That's why I want a fork.
Okay. Found a fork? Tell me what you think.
Get a bit of everything in that bite, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Some bell pepper, some tomato.
Mm-hmm. Want some more chapati? Let us know what you think. What do you think? Mm-hmm. Better than yours?
I said on the side. So thank you, Leon Okendo.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. I hope you.
Tika hands.
Yeah.
Ngota.
Got it.
Safe, man. Thank you for having me.
Good call.
The food was good. I hope you guys tried this recipe.
Please.
It's actually pretty good. I'm impressed. I won't lie. I was like, but
He was. The whole time he was just like.
it's really good. Yeah, man. I should have
Alright.
continuity.
Yeah, dude, let's just eat. Yeah, like.
My jacket.
What about your jacket?
Continuity.
Yeah.